Hi, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. In our series, we take a game, we show you how it's played, and then over the following episodes, we actually play the game. And where possible, we put a seat at the table just for you so you can play along with us. By doing this, we're really optimistic that by the end of a series, you'll be able to decide for yourself whether or not a game would be good for you, your family, or your gaming group. Now in this series, we're going to be playing the game Wits Wagers. This is by North Star Games, and it's usually for 4 to 20 people because this is a party game. And admittedly, we're a pretty small party here at the Smith family because it's just going to be me and my kids playing it, but we want to invite you to play along. You won't be able to do everything, but you'll be able to do pretty much 90% of what you'd be able to do if you were sitting at the table with us, and you'll certainly be able to track your points and see if you can beat us. Now to start, I'm just going to show you how you set up this game. So let's go down the table and I'll show you some of the things that come with it. The object of the game is to get the most points, and one of the ways you're going to do that is by making wagers with your wager chips. And each player is going to start the game with 2 wager chips. Each player will also take a matching mini whiteboard of their color, and you're going to use this over the course of the game to write answers to questions on. To write those answers, you'll use one of the dry erase pens that are supplied with the game. And to erase your answers at the end of each round, or for any crybabies that are playing with you, you'll want to have some Kleenex handy. As you collect points in the game, you'll be getting chips. These orange or reddish chips, they're worth 1 point each. The blue ones are worth 5, and then the green ones are worth 25. And then we also have the Wits Wagers play mat. You're going to want to have this out somewhere in the middle of the table so the players can easily reach it, because this is where you're going to place your wagers and earn some points. All right, so I've been joined by my opponents,
Luke Smith
and
Andrea.
We're getting ready to begin because I find the easiest way to teach this game is just to play it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to read the first card. The game comes with a bunch of cards, by the way. These have a number of trivia questions on them, 7 questions each. So we're going to start by reading off
The first question
on the first card. Now, you don't want to hold this card up because the answer's on the back and your opponents might see the answer. So the first question is, what is the largest number of different words spoken by one bird during its lifetime? What we're going to do is we're going to take our little whiteboards. We're going to write the answer down that we think to that question. We're going to do that secretly, and then when we're done, we're going to place it face down on the mat here. Catch is, we have a little timer. The timer runs for 30 seconds. So we got to get started right now. All right, we've got our answers written down. The timer has run out. Now I'm going to bring you guys down to the table because I want to show you how we do the next step. Next, we flip over the answers. And we're going to have to put these answers in order from lowest to highest, putting the lowest over on this side. So this one's the lowest, and then 1,000's next, and then Andrew's 1,100. Then we have to place it on the board in a particular way. So if you have an odd number of answers, we have 3 answers, you put the middle one right on the middle space, and then the other ones go on either side of it. If we had an even number of players, let's say we had someone who'd bid 1 billion, all right? That would go on the end. And what you do is you actually leave the middle space empty, and then you arrange the answers on either side of that middle space. But of course, we're not playing with this bozo, so I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to move things back to the way they were. Once the answers are all arranged, it's time to flip over the timer because everyone has 30 seconds to place their wager chips. If you think the answer, the correct answer, is 1,100 or higher, you place a wager chip there. If you think it's from 1,000 up to 1,099, you would put the chip here. Or if you think it's between 433 and 1,000, you'd put the chip here. If you ever think it's less than 433 or whatever the lowest number is, you're allowed to put your chip on the smaller than the lowest number, which is this particular space here. Now you have 2 chips. If you want, you can put both chips on the same answer, or you can split them up and put them on 2 different answers, and you don't have to actually bid on the answer that you gave. Depending on which answer ends up being right, there's going to be different levels of payout, but we'll look at that in a moment. And this is the point in the game where you can play along. Pretend that you had 2 chips and decide where you would place them if you were wagering as well. So I'm going to grab my chips and start the timer, and let's go, guys. All right, I have confidence in myself, so I'm going to place 1 chip there, and I think maybe, oh, timer stopped. There we go. And I think I'm going to put 1 here. Now, keep in mind, you're actually allowed to change your wagers as time goes on. If you start to lose confidence, you can switch it up and go, well, maybe I'll put 1 here. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 there. If the timer runs out and you're still holding on to your chip or you haven't placed it, then you lose that chip, so you have to place it within the timer. So now it's time to find out who's actually right. And you don't have to get the exact right answer. You just have to be within the range of what's right. And the right answer, wow. Okay, so I'm way off. The right answer is 1,728 words, okay? That's a lot of words for a bird. And on the front of a card, it will actually tell you where the answer comes from. So when I read the question, I could have told everyone, hey, this is from the Guinness World Records of 2007. Okay, so let's look down at the board and we'll see how we actually assign the points. So the first thing we should point out is that this is the right answer, okay? So the chips placed here are wrong. We can give these back to the people who played them. So I'm going to take my 2 chips back. Luke's going to get his back as well, and Andrew's going to get one of hers. And then the boards can also go back to the players as well. So what we have to do first is the person who had the right answer, which was Andrea, she's going to get 3 chips. So we're going to give her 3 of these orange ones. And then there's also a payout based on where the right answer was on the board. And this payout is 3-1. So we count out how many chips that she wagered, and then we give her 3 for each chip. So in this case, she's going to get another 3 chips to go with that. So then she takes this chip back and her board, and that's the end of the scoring. Hopefully you remember where you placed your chips, because if you place them on the right location, you'll get a payout as well. Remember, if you put 1 chip on the right spot, you'll get 3 extra chips. If you put both of your chips on the right spot, you're going to get 6 extra chips. So you guys might have already figured out you are at a slight disadvantage playing along with us because you're not able to submit a board with one of the answers. Because if you get the right board,
you get 3 extra chips.
3 extra chips. So what you should do then at home to make up for that is just give yourself 1 free bonus chip every round. All right. So now that we finished the first round, we take the card, we put it at the bottom, we put it away. We're going to be drawing the next card, and then the next person reads question number 2 on that card, and then the next round, the next player will read question number 3 on a new card, and so on and so forth. So that by the time we get down to the 7th card, we'll be reading the 7th question, and that's when the game is over. And then we total up the total number of chips amongst each of us and see who has the most, and that person wins. So Luke, I'm going to get you to read the next question on this card.
How many pounds does the comic book character Wonder Woman weigh?
All right, so I'm going to set the timer, and we're going to start coming up with our answers. Let's go. All right, so now, of course, we're going to flip these over, and we're going to see what we got. All right, so we got a bit of a range here. I'm going to arrange these from lowest to highest. 150 at the bottom, 210, 300. Because it's an odd number of answers, the middle answer goes right in the middle of the board. Of course, it's possible that we have 2 answers that were the exact same. Let's just say that this one was also 150, in which case that would share a space with the other 150. And then because we now have even number of answers, we'd have to leave a gap in the middle. So hopefully that's clear. Anyway, we'll put this back to the way it was. And now it's time for us to place our wagers. But Andrea, because she wants some chips, has some extra options. If she was feeling very confident, she can stack any number of chips that she won underneath of one of her wager chips and then place it on a particular location, like so. Let's say this ended up being right. Now her payout, again, it's a 3-1, so she'd count up all the chips there. 1, 2, 3, 4 chips. So 4 times 3 is 12. If she's right, she'll get an additional 12 chips. If she's wrong, you always get your wager chip back, but then you lose any of the additional chips that you collected and wagered on that location. You also have the option of splitting up the chips that you've won. So she could put some chips underneath this wager chip and put it over here and have them 2 stacked like that. The only thing you can't do is you can't take some of these extra chips and just put them over here. They always have to be underneath of a wager chip. So at most, you're only ever going to be able to place 2 wagers. All right, enough talking. Let's wager. I'm going to go here. Timer's running out, Andrea. Okay, we're all done. Let's see who is actually right. All right, Luke, go ahead and read out the answer.
165?
What?
Yes!
She's an Amazonian. She's like huge and she's muscly.
But she's also a girl and feminine.
Yes, that is crazy. Okay, well, it's not all bad news for us losers because Andrea's also going to lose a couple of chips. So the right answer was here, just to be clear. So these ones are coming back to me as well as my board. Luke's getting his chips as well. Luke, we're not doing so well in his board. Andrea gets her chip back, the wager chip, but she loses the 2 chips that she wagered on that location because it wasn't a right answer. However, over here, she's going to get 3 chips for having the right answer board in the right location. And then she's also going to get a bonus of 6 chips. So I'm going to give Andrea one of these chips that's worth 5, as well as a single chip to make up the total of 6. And just so it's clear, you always only ever get 3 chips for having the right answer on your answer board. It doesn't matter which position you're in. So even if you're in a position that pays out 4-1, having the right answer board answer just gives you 3 chips every time. All right, so that dreadful round is over. Dreadful, don't you agree?
Yes.
Yes. And so we move on to the 3rd round. So Andrew's going to be reading the 3rd question off of the next card.
Speaking of dreadful, it's how dreadful that you have no chips.
It is pretty dreadful. We're going to fix that, aren't we? Right
Yes.
now. Okay, so Andrew, you read question number 3.
Okay. What percent of American adults say that watching TV is their most popular leisure time activity?
Now, this is just something else I want to highlight about the game, is that although it's a trivia game, all of the answers are always numbers. So even if you don't know the answer, you can always make a guess. Because Luke doesn't really know his percentages yet. So, he doesn't know what percentage of Americans maybe watch television. He wouldn't know how to cut that up. But he knows how to pick a number between 1 and 100. So at the very least, he can do that. So are we ready to start the timer?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, now I didn't mention this last time, but I hope you guys are remembering to place your bids as well. Okay, well actually these are all in order, so that's going to make it simple. Don't forget as well, you have the option. If you think it's less than 20%, you can always bid on this location. It means smaller than whatever the lowest guess was, and its payout is 6-1. So it's a tough one. The odds aren't great on this one, but the payout is pretty good. All right, I'm going to flip the timer. Guys, it's time for us to place our bids. Luke, you're so fast. I'm going to place here, because I think this is a pretty nice big gap, and the timer stopped. Sometimes the sand gets stuck. That gives us a few extra seconds, which is good. And I think I'll go there as well.
Time's almost up.
Andrea. Oh, Andrea. Okay, now notice this. Andrea placed both of her wager chips on this stack. And she saved a few in reserve. Let's see who's actually right.
And the answer is 21%.
No way!
Yes!
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So first of all, this wager chip, these ones here, they're all going because Luke, again, we weren't right there. And Andrea, she had the right answer on her board, so she's getting 3 chips for that. I actually had finally a chip on the right one. The payout is 3-1, which means I'm going to get 3 additional points. And how many have we got here, Andrea? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 3, which is 24 additional chips. So what I'm actually going to do is give her 25 and ask her to give me one of these ones back. So there we go, Andrea. Well done. I gotta wonder if anyone at home right now is actually beating Andrea. I hope so. But I'm going to read question number 4 right now. Including wisdom teeth, how many teeth does an adult human have? All right, flip the timer. Let's go. All right, let's look at what the answers are. Okay, 20 is the lowest. Then we have 32 and 36. I'm going to start the timer. Let's go. I don't know if I'm right or not. Go, timer, go. I'm going to go there. And I'm going to
Go quicker, Dan. It's almost done.
I'm going to go there. I'm gonna go there.
No.
Timer's up. Okay, so we're locked in. Oh, this is stressful. Okay, who's got the right answer? The answer is 32.
Yes!
Oh, Andrea. And you didn't hear Andrea, but off screen she was saying, oh, I wish I could change my answer.
I actually wanted to change it to 36 too.
Oh my goodness. Well, Andrea, you're gonna get 3 chips for once again having the right answer on the answer board. I'm just going to remove these ones to make it simple. These ones were wrong. This one goes back to you, Luke. I lose this chip. This wager chip comes back to me.
I lose some of mine, too.
Andrea loses some of hers, but of course, don't forget, you always get back the wager chip. But now it's time.
And more chips over here.
Yeah, and we're going to add up the extra points. So, Luke, you're getting some chips.
Yes!
So for having one right answer on a 2-1, he gets an additional 2 chips. So those go to you, Luke. I'm going to get 4 chips for having 2 chips on the right answer. So I'll take my 4, and then Andrea, once again, is going to stack the count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Andrea is going to get an additional 12 chips. So we're going to give her 2 blue and 2 orange. Now you might remember, Luke, what'd you guess on that turn?
20.
20. Sometimes the answers have a little extra fluff beside them, and here's what it said on that teeth question. Children have 20 teeth before their adult teeth come in. So Luke, from a child's perspective, you were actually exactly right. Unfortunately, I can't award you any points for that. All right. But you do get to read the next question.
Yay.
All right, so you're going to be reading question number 5 on this card.
How many cups of coffee does the average American drink per year?
Ooh, interesting
Wow.
one. Interesting one. All right, let's start the timer and get to it. All right, we're going to flip over these, see what the answers are. We got a 120 with a smiley face. That's Luke's, and it's going there. And all right, everyone, even you at home, don't forget to bid. Timer starting now.
Let's see. I think I'll put...
I don't know. I mean, hopefully this isn't...
One's gonna go here.
Does this include
and I think
children? Did it say
one's gonna go
adults?
here.
I kind of forget. And it doesn't even say whether it's adults or not. Okay, I'm going to go... Like,
Whoa.
Whoa, Andrea.
Whoa.
Wow, Andrea's about to be... Oh, look, the timer stopped again. There we go. Well, I think that's probably good enough.
Whoa.
Let's see what the answer is.
393.6.
The U.S. consumes far less coffee per person than does each Scandinavian country. Luke, you got the right answer board, but you didn't bid on yourself. You didn't have any confidence in yourself. But don't worry, you're still going to get some points. Okay, Andrea. Andrea, I'm not hearing you say anything. Anything you'd like to say? No? Silence? I'm getting glares, folks. I'm getting glares. All these chips going back to the stack. Luke, you're losing this chip as well. And this one. And hey, I'm losing all of these. Getting back my wager chip. Luke, I'm going to give you 3 chips for having the right board answer. Well done. And then I'm also going to get a little payout here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to get 12 chips.
I really thought I was going to get that one.
Yeah, that closed the gap, certainly. You still got 31 points, and I'm not really close to that yet, and I don't think Luke is either. But let's move on to the next card. All right, so you're going to be reading it, Andrea, and it's question number 6. We're almost to the end here.
In feet and inches, how tall is the Sesame Street character Big Bird?
Okay, well, let's get writing our answers. All right, let's take a look and see what the answers are. All right, now, Luke, you weren't sure about how to do inches, were you?
No.
Don't forget, we're Canadian. We're in the metric system, so that's something he's not quite as familiar with, but that's still an answer. So let's see. I think that's right. And let's start the timer and start bidding. There's not a lot of big gaps here. I'm not really sure. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to remember exactly how big he looked. And the timer hasn't moved an inch.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this timer is a little bit sticky, but we've all placed our bids, so we can just say the timer's run out. And let's take a look at the answer, Andrew. What does it say?
Whoa! 8 feet and 2 inches.
8 feet. Okay, well, he's taller than I remember. So first of all, these ones are wrong. So we're just going to clear these ones right off the board. And here's our winners. So, hey, that's me. That's blue. So I'm going to get 3 chips for that, like so. And let's see here, green, which is Andrea. She's going to be getting a total of 6 chips because she had 2 chips bid. So, Andrea, I'll give those to you. And now blue, that's me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be getting 15 chips, so I'm going to take 3 blue ones. And then Luke, 1, 2, 3. Luke, you're going to be collecting 9 chips. Before we read the last question, let's find out where everyone stands. I've got 30 points.
32.
15.
Now, normally I don't include the wager chips themselves in the points because everyone always has those anyway, so they kind of cancel each other out. So we know who it is we have to beat. Right?
Yes.
Okay, let's read the last and final question, our last chance to catch up. In what year did the first Walmart store open? Oh, I don't know. Where'd my pen go? No fair. Okay, here we go. Let's write our answers in quick before the timer runs out. How confident do you guys feel right now with your answers?
Not very. Honestly.
No, me either.
Me neither.
I don't know if Walmart used to be Walgreens and if that means they were around longer. Let's see. We got 1924, 1935, and I was saying 1962. And it is time to place our wagers, everyone. I don't know. But I know that if I'm going to win this, I got to go all in.
I'm just gonna... I know.
Timer's running out, everybody. Okay, there we go. Let's find out what the answer is. The answer is 1962. That's what I said. Wow, right on the money. Okay, so this is interesting. We got to take... Oh, Luke. I'm sorry, buddy. All your chips are gone. Here's your board back. Andrew, you can have your board back. You also get your chip back, but you lose this chip. And then I'm going to get 3 points for having the right answer on the answer board. And then also, let's see, Andrew, you're going to get another 9 chips. So I'll give you 5 and a 4 for 9. And then I have 5 That's 30, 31, 32. 32 times 3, which is 96. 96 points.
Wow.
Okay, so let's give everyone the final score. This is the first time I've wanted to do that in a while. Go ahead, Luke. How many points?
0.
0 and
35.
124.
Wow.
Some people will say that was luck. I'd like to say there was some luck, but a great deal of skill involved. Knowing when to bid and exactly
Where's
how
your
much.
skill for the first 3 rounds?
That was all just biding my time, keeping the target off my back,
Sure.
make people think I didn't know what I was talking about. All right. Listen, this was a 3-player game, and like I said, normally this is a party game you play with a much larger crowd. And if you have more, I think it comes with enough boards for
7 players.
7 players, I think
Yeah.
it is. But then if you want to play in a larger group, you have people team up. And so you can work together on deciding what your guesses are going to be and what your bids are going to be. So hopefully you got a sense of how that works, both in a small group and you can hopefully imagine what it would be like in a bigger group. We really appreciate you joining us for this episode. Until the next one, thanks for watching.